Hello everybody, I am coming to you from the Self Construct YouTube channel. I am just putting up my first video. I decided that I wanted to do some tarot readings for you guys because I think that having a tarot reading is something that's really great for me and something that I think that can connect us all in the universal consciousness field. The deck that I'm going to be using today is the Vision Quest Tarot. Really, really gorgeous cards. This was actually my first tarot deck that I ever got. So I'm going to start doing a reading. I think this is going to be a relatively general reading, mainly just talking about the energies that are going on currently in this day, this week, this month. Although it is a timeless reading, it is meant for mid to late July of 2019. And basically, we're going to be talking about the energy that resonates with the Taurus. So let's just get into it. I think the primary question here is, how can we, as Taurus people, as these earth sign energies, how can we channel love? How can we co-create with other energies, other men and women that have different star signs as we do? How can we collaborate? How can we co-create together? First, I'm going to be laying out, oh, beautiful. This is such a perfect beginning card. I'm going to lay out the first seven cards. And then from there, I am going, this is crazy. Wow. That's so funny. Sorry, I just got sidetracked. You saw how I shuffled these cards. I pulled most of these cards, my reading that I did yesterday for myself, so I think that's really incredible. But anyway, so this is, I'm going to do like the basic seven card spread here, and then any sort of clarifying ones I'm going to be doing a little bit later. So basically, the essence of what we're trying to do here is we're trying to bring in more love into our space. And the Lover's card completely depicts something like this. You can see the partnership that is between the man and the woman, and also the fertility that's going on in this time that we're in right now. It's a very fertile time. There is a lot of beautiful nature and rawness that's going on right now. There's a possibility of blossoming, and of blooming, possibility of partnership, things like this. You can see little frogs here too, just kind of making that indicative to what type of energy is going on today, letting the things flow. I think that's really what, as Tauruses, we're really trying to channel right now is how to flow our energy, how to connect deeply into what's going on in the present moment, how to really use our feelings to gain a greater sense of connectedness in the world that we live in. The influences from within here is going to be the Three of Earth, which is growth. It's a beautiful Native American deck. I love this thing so much. It kind of just goes right into this first card that I was talking about with the Lovers, and how fertile of a time that we are experiencing right now. You can see that we have planted the seeds long ago, and they are starting to germinate, and they're starting to form and coming above. I think right now, especially as I'm looking through these other cards, it appears to me that we planted seeds, but we're not entirely sure what's going to be forming out of the seeds that we planted yet. I think that there's a lot of energy, and there's a lot of potential here, and there's a lot of webbing and moving through. But you can see here that there's more than one force at play. You have the air above, you have the trees, you have the ground, and a lot of the energy that is going on in here. We're not entirely sure, I think, as to what this fertile time is really going to hold, and what seeds that we planted are finally going to start germinating and coming into fruition. Now, the influences that we're also experiencing, some of it from the outside, is going to be a 10 of air, negative thinking. From what I'm gathering here with this type of energy that I'm reading before, is that there's a lot of potential right now. There's a lot of amazing, beautiful things happening. We're not entirely sure what's going to happen, but I think that there's also a lot of negative thoughts. Possibly, people are coming. They're, you see that these are vultures. Some people are coming towards the Taurus, and they feel as if they can rob them of something and take something from them, as they can see what type of fertile energy is that they are, or that we are currently exuding. I can tell you from personal experience, this is what's been happening for me. A lot of energies coming in that I feel very starving, taking from me, feeding off of my energy. But there is one thing to consider, though, with this, is that these vultures, they come on the dying and the sick. So anything that is no longer meant to serve you at this point is coming in, and it's taking shapes of lessons where things are being taken from you, or energy is being moved out of your way, all so you can be renewed and be able to really go into the next phase of your journey. And for us right now, because of this influence, it's really clearing out the way for us to really go into this next phase of our lives. This is the path of action here, which is the big medicine wheel. And you can see here that there's an earth in the middle, and that there's various different totems along the outside. And there's a secrecy here as well with the snake. And essentially what this card is saying, which I touched on earlier with this one right here, with the growth card, is that we have so many opportunities right now, and it's up to us to decide how we want to use our time in the best way. We have a lot of options. There's a lot of fullness that's going on in the universe. There's so much happening. And I think right now, there's just a little bit of, there might be a bit of fear, but I think what it really is there's a secrecy of what's happening in this time. And this next card just affirmed that for me. There's some secrecy of what's happening right now. There's a lot of really deep underlying forces. And I think it's up to us to start to just at least notice what's going on within, small moments, just moments of presence, really, and to recenter ourselves so we can really figure out exactly which direction we want to take in this tarot this month as a Taurus, within the next month, next couple of weeks. Any sort of decision that you feel like you need to start to flow down another path. And this ties in very, very well. This card ties in very, very well, because this right here is the path of passivity. Now, the path of passivity essentially is the act of doing without actually doing. So this card here is the shaman, and the shaman is keen on mystical forces, things that are hidden that the eye can't always necessarily see. And it ties into the snake very well. It ties into really figuring out what direction you need to go. You see here the dark night of the soul a little bit. And it's not necessarily having to go into a negative thing in your life. It may mean this for you, but that's not necessarily what this is. At least for what I'm reading here for Taurus, I think what is occurring right now is very magical, very mystical types of forces requiring a lot of silence. I think that the raven here, that is another symbol of a transformation, of an ending, of a sort of a spiritual transformation, of a death of some sort. But this is something that I think is going to take form more on the spiritual plane. So it's not going to, I'm not, from what I'm getting here, it's not gonna be like everything is gonna be taken. I think that there's a lot, as we can see here, there's so much fertile energy going on. It's not that that we are facing a disillusionment in the sense of things, major things ripping away. What I'm gathering here is that there's a very delicate, very I'm struggling finding the word, but a delicate type of spiritual experience. And this is here to lead us into the right direction. And from what I'm seeing with the rest of these cards here, is that this type of transformation is going to be the disillusionment of the physical. It's going to be more touched into the spiritual, the compassion, the emotional, the earthly side of our sign. What I'm seeing a lot of really right now for the Taurus is that we are being stripped away of things that are no longer who we are, that never really were who we were. But we brought along the way because we picked some things, we thought some things were us. But now it is appearing to me that the Taurus, and at least for me as a Taurus, it's like the feeling of what I thought brought me joy. It really came from a deep knowing and a deep connectedness to the earth and to my fellow people, something that that is not it's in here. It's not out there in the world. It's something very, very, it's hard to explain, really. And this kind of goes into here, the ways of the heart. And this is the mother of air. And the mother of air symbolizes compassion. And I think that this time right here is really calling for a lot of sensitivity, a lot of compassion, allowing these dead parts of us to fall away. You can see how beautiful she is too. So it's not what's happening right now for the Taurus. It's not, and again, this is a general reading, but it's not going to be one of those experiences where, you know, when something has to end, it gets really ugly. What's happening right now is we are allowing the things that no longer serve us to fall away. And because we're doing this, it's allowing us to be more sensitive, more compassionate, more beautiful, more who we truly are as people. And this is the last card right here, which is the possible new outcome. And honestly, this reading is amazing because it just flows right into itself. The final outcome here is so similar because it's the moon. It's the mystical night forces, the unconscious little things that happen in our lives. You can see, you know, how the moon changes all of the water in the ocean, how it fuels so much of life, and how this woman here, you can see in the picture, is celebrating these types of mystical forces. So really, Taurus, what's happening right now is a transformation in the sense of well-being and belonging and peace. Really, of deep knowing and deep peace and really connecting. You can see that these are very earthly type of signs. And I mean, I know that not all of them are necessarily earth, as the cards are laying out here, but they have a very earthly type of energy. They depict different types of animals that come from the earth. You can see all the fertility, you can see the plants, you can see the moon. Obviously there's an eagle in two of these. You know, you can see that there's two eagles here, and that's also something to note as well. You can see that there's two wolves as well, two frogs. So I am the Eagles. I can give you a pretty good idea of, just because, you know, eagles are, they represent a lot of power and a lot of strength. The frog, I can't pin what the frog is, or the wolf, but if you want to leave a comment below, give me a little bit of a helping hand here, because this is a awesome reading. Honestly, this reading is so good that I'm not going to pull another 7. I'll pull another 3 just to give us just a question of, so, you know, any final notes from Spirit, anything else that Spirit needs us to know as Tauruses for this month ahead of us. Yeah. Okay. This is, oh my God. This makes me so happy. This is my first reading I've ever done on a video, so I'm just like... So, as I was saying here, you know, the things falling away, this first one, let it go. Let it deplete. It's going to naturally deplete itself. What I'm gathering right now is that the letting it go is not... this type of forceful thing. These types, this letting go is really the starvation, the death here, the ending of something that is, it will feel more like a liberation. As right here, this next card is the Ace of Earth, which is keen on manifestation. This is the manifesting card. This is absolutely amazing. It's like you had leftover reserves that no longer served you, that I have a feeling is being used really to like fuel this type of growth. It's now letting it go, letting it fuel what it needs to fuel so you can manifest this final thing. And you can see in this next card, it's filled with corn. Oh my gosh, this is so great. There's baskets, and this is the Ten of Earth, which is wealth. There's fruits, there's really everything. And it's honestly, I pulled these yesterday, a lot of these cards yesterday, even though I completely shuffled, but it really looks like for the Taurus, it's just taking your time, meditating, being at one with nature, listening to the silence, listening to the delicate things that are going on with inside of you, and allowing these seeds to develop, allowing it to manifest, allowing the wealth to accumulate. And honestly, this Lovers card, I don't know. There might be somebody coming. There might be somebody coming. There's no guarantees. But just wait and allow things to fall away, and there's just a possibility, you know. There's a possibility. So you can see that there's more than one possibility, but I mean, if it's meant for you, if it's meant to be, it will be. And if not, it'll come in the form of other beautiful things, other nice magical seeds that you're going to be able to plant, that you're going to be able to move through this cycle in. So yeah, feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what you think, any tips and tricks you guys have, and click subscribe if you like it. I think I'm going to start doing this. So yeah. It's been great. Namaste. I hope you have an amazing week, you Tauruses, and I will see you guys soon.